He was a reverend. Now, let me ask you a question here, though. What do you think motivated the whistleblower to come to you and rat out Kolfage?
Well, I think that the whistleblower, and this is what they told me, the whistleblower said, look, I don't want to see Trump supporters scammed. Because I think that if Trump supporters are being taken advantage of, then it may lead to the wall not being built. They literally said, like, look, I know right from wrong. You and I may disagree about the ends, but the means we can agree on. It should be done the right way. And he was just, look, I've spoken with a lot of people on this story. It's been going on now for 2 years, but they were very disgusted because they had this, experience with this person, this personal experience. And if they hadn't had that personal experience, they couldn't have reported that story. Like they had a very specific predicate that they had met the person, Kolfage, they had met them, they had heard from Kolfage himself that, this was definitely a situation where losing his platform, Kolfage's platform, crippled him financially, and all of a sudden he's cruising around. I mean, it's just a classic case of being caught by social media. Brian Kolfage was caught by social media just as much as the Capitol insurrectionists. It's just a sad day in America when stealing $1 million and not being repentant about it at all can be a pardonable offense, a crime that's pardoned. That's the truth.
Let me ask you this, Grant, because you said off the air that you had a hard break at 6 o'clock. It's almost 6 o'clock right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to call.
Oh, good. You can give me like another 4 minutes, and then. All right, then let me ask you this real quick while we're waiting for them to call.
Sure.
The other pardons. Have you had a chance to look through the other pardons?
Yes, I have had a chance to look through the other pardons, and they're egregious. They're really, really bad. I mean, at least with Steve Bannon, it's an ongoing matter, and we know that the state authorities in at least two states, New York and Florida, are able to seek justice for the American people and stop these scams and punish the people that perpetrated them. But former Congressman Renzi, Duke Cunningham, we're talking about, and let's just talk about some of the pardons that were earlier. Duncan Hunter, former Representative Chris Collins. I mean, those guys got pardoned for, respectively, let's see, insider trading on the White House lawn. That was Collins. He was the first Republican in Congress to support Trump. And the second pardon, Duncan Hunter, he diverted at least $250,000 worth of campaign funds to have 4 or 5 different affairs while he was traveling across the country. I mean, these are horrible pardons. These are like it's just like a free pass. It's a free pass for public corruption. Any corrupt public official in America that isn't a Republican already is probably thinking about joining the Republican Party after this.
It seemed to me that a lot of them were very wealthy people, and perhaps
they were.
So you think perhaps
Bob Zangrillo got pardoned. He's a real estate developer and actually quite active here in Miami. And Zangrillo paid a ton of money in the Varsity Blues scandal.
Wow.
Aunt Becky didn't get a pardon, but this guy Zangrillo must be more connected to Aunt Becky. Another pardon that really disturbed me was Paul Erickson. He was the Russian spy's boyfriend.
Right.
The Russian spy who infiltrated the National Rifle Association, which, by the way, filed bankruptcy recently. So Paul Erickson won a full and complete pardon for his vast, multi-decade financial crime spree. He was scamming people for years, friends, associates, and Kellyanne Conway sponsored his pardon. This is left a note to himself debating if he should take a job from Russia's Federal Service Bureau, i.e., the intelligence agency.
Well, there was another one too that was working with Iran. He was working around the Iran embargo laws. Did you see that one?
Oh, there was? I missed that one.
Yeah, because they're also egregious. Now, what do you make of all these meth manufacturing ones, though? What do you make of that?
I don't know. Maybe Trump is in that business.
I don't know about that, but a lot of those meth guys are like neo-Nazi types, and right-wing gangs, Maybe.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, really? Who knows?
I know.
There's no depth, there's no bottom to the depravity, so
yeah.
we really can't say. We can't say, well, geez, we know Trump would never be in the meth business.
Well, no,
but we can say this. The list included a lot of powerful, wealthy individuals. Elliot Brody.
Right.
So here's a convicted briber who gets convicted of soliciting a bribe to get somebody else a pardon, and he gets a pardon. And this guy was just conducting all sorts of foreign lobbying activities without registering, and I mean, gosh, it's just overwhelming how many criminals these folks brought into Washington, D.C. And Donald Trump's last official act, besides pardoning, he also gave Judge Jeanine Pirro's husband a full pardon. That was one of his last official acts. But Trump did only one thing in 5 years, or 4 years in office. One thing in 4 years in office that could be construed as public ethics matter, which is that he issued an executive order forbidding everybody in the Trump administration from lobbying an agency that they had worked for 5 years, and forbidding them from becoming foreign lobbyists, registered foreign agents. He rescinded that on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
Yeah, you had to fill the swamp on the way out. Grant, we only got about 2 minutes left. I got another big question for you, though. What do you make of the number of pardons that were associated with requests from Alan Dershowitz? Anything?
Well, Trump, I guess, really appreciated the fact that Dershowitz got up there and said that up was down and left was right for him.
Yeah.
Dershowitz was an advisor throughout the presidency. He didn't try to hide it. He did explain that he wasn't Trump's lawyer. He's not giving legal advice to Trump at the time, but he took the job during impeachment the last time around. And I don't know if you read the reports, but I read on CNN that Trump is having trouble finding legal counsel right now.
Yeah.
Which I find surprising because Dershowitz said publicly that he would like to represent Trump in the Senate trial.
Well, let's see what happens. We got about 1 minute left. How can people find Grant Stern and follow your excellent reporting?
Well, I would love it if you guys run on down to Twitter and follow me at Stern. And at Grant Stern is the best way to find me, or you can go to grantstern.com. That's where you'll find my books on Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and 4 other wonderful Democrats who ran for president. Now Department of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Senator Bernie Sanders. And, really the best place to go is Twitter, at Grant Stern. That's where I post everything that comes out.
Yeah, and the little bios up there, he has tags and links to all the other Twitter channels he uses, and to his website, grantstern.com. Mr. Stern, thank you once again.
Thanks for having me. It's always been my pleasure.
Great. Good night. Thank you.